12 3-minute rounds, could you please welcome the world number 11 from Australia, Solomon Haumono.
I talked a little bit about Solomon in watching his fight a couple of months ago. He stopped Manuel Bachetta in that fight, and I saw the tremendous power that he has. And this fight is going to be power against the guy who's just a terrific boxer, and that really makes for great fireworks. So here he comes in, Solomon Haumono. And as I mentioned before when I talked about it, these are two really, really nice gentlemen outside the ring, but you can be sure that there'll be fireworks inside the ring. Solomon Haumono, who is a Kiwi, but he lives in Sydney, Australia, and a great athlete. He played 111 NRL games and 48 Super League matches and one test match for Australia, so he is very athletic.
Solomon, look up, please.
109 even, Solomon Haumono. So just before you skittle off there, because you've got to do a stare down and all that other stuff, Bob made a pretty fair point there. You are one of the nicest guys I've ever met in this business. You placid. This is the genuine you. How do you unleash the fury? What's the switch?
Mate, we're going to go in there and we're going to fight for our causes. So I'm going to be in there fighting for what I believe in, and I've come here to win.
We're talking about you getting, Joseph Parker getting angry. Do you get angry? Do you have to psych yourself up because you're so laid back outside the ring?
Like everyone gets angry. So there's a point. But yeah.
Do you think Joseph Parker can make you angry tomorrow because you've been talking about roughing him up? Maybe he could do the same to you.
Mate, I'm just going to go in there and I want to win. That's my primary goal, and I'm sure that's the same with Joseph, and it's going to make for a good fight.
Just hold you there. Justin Fortune, could I just bring you up on stage just for a moment? Because you talk good, that's right. Come up here. Here he is. Good man, actually. Hey, Justin, Kevin Murray made a very good point yesterday, and that was about Alex Leapai taking his opportunity. Is that how you see it? The fact that Leapai was not expected to fight against Boris Joffrey, not expected to wins, and then fights Vladimir Klitschko? Could be this history of repeat?
As far I have nothing to do with Leapai. No, it was just styles make fights, and this is a good fight. Styles a puncher, and Joseph's a boxer.
IBF mandatory challenger for the heavyweight title, the WBO number 1 and WBC number 4, Joseph Parker.
As Joseph comes in with Kevin Barry, his trainer, 7 knockouts in his last 8 fights, but that last fight that he fought against Carlos Takam proved that he really is a world-class fighter, because Takam is the guy that nobody in the heavyweight division in any of the rankings wants to face. You got to remember, Joseph is 23 years of age. He's still learning, developing a habit of keeping those hands up, and Kevin's working with him. He had a 5-week training camp because he had such a long training camp before, but he's in great physical shape. Here he is, our favorite son from New Zealand, Joseph Parker.
$106.4 kilos, Joseph Parker. Okay, I'll get our main event fighters to stare down, please. Yes. There's nothing there. Could you stare, please? Now, what is it with you guys? This is the first time, hang on for a second. This is the first time I've ever done a stare down with you with Joseph, and you're smiling, you're hugging the guy beforehand. What on earth is going on?
Hey, we're two great guys who've trained the house down for this fight. You know, you don't have to be a bad guy to be a fighter, so I believe we're two humble guys who's prepared for tomorrow night, and we're going to go out there and do our best. You know, we're both here for the win, and it makes it exciting.
Like, do a proper stare down now.
What's up, Scott?
Something looks a little bit more intense. Could you look forward, please? Thank you, guys. A lot of respect there between the two. Just while Joseph puts his clothes back on, Kevin Barry, that is about the sport at the end of the day, isn't it? You do respect your opponent, no matter what, getting into the ring.
Well, these are two very respectful guys. And look, firstly, I'd just like to say good afternoon, and it's great to be here in Christchurch. And I'd like to acknowledge a couple of people. Mr. John Hunter from Burger King, who's responsible for putting this event on. Without his support, this wouldn't be happening. And I'd also like to acknowledge Joe's mum and dad, Dempsey and Salu, who are here, and my beautiful mum, Myra. So thank you. This is a fight that we've taken very, very seriously for a number of reasons. One is because Solomon Haumono is a very dangerous puncher. But most importantly, we've taken this fight seriously because this is the first time that we're seeing Joseph Parker in the ring as the #1 mandatory challenger to the heavyweight championship of the world. So Joe has taken his intensity and his focus up in training. This fight means a lot to him. We know that the world watched when he fought Carlos Takam about 8 weeks ago, and the boxing world are going to be watching again tomorrow night when he fights Solomon Haumono. Joe takes his position as mandatory contender very, very seriously, and you'll see tomorrow night a very focused, a very determined, a very proud Joseph Parker, a fighter that we have a lot of respect for. We know that Solomon, we're teaming up with Justin Fortune, who was the man who prepared Manny Pacquiao for strength and conditioning for 5-6 years. The Solomon will be in very, very good shape. You saw him on the scales here tonight. He's weighing 5 kilograms less than his last fight, which tells me the guy's fit. He's come prepared. But everyone who fights Joseph Parker does come prepared. So I think we're going to see a great occasion tomorrow night and a great main event. And thanks very much for coming today.
Kevin touched on that Leopai. I'm going to go back to the Leopai story because it really wasn't picked up too much in Australia. It really was a rocky story, but you and I were there. In fact, we were all there. Duco was there. You were on that undercard of that fight just to see the razzmatazz of fighting on a Vladimir Klitschko undercard. But the fact that Alex Leopai took his chance and seized it and took the opportunity away from someone else. You know, you have gone from being the hunter to the hunted.
Yeah, that's like what Kev mentioned, it's a perfect example. And at the moment, you know, we are in a great position. IBF mandatory challenger for that bout. But there's a target on our back, and everyone they want to fight. They fight us now. Wants what we have. But we're determined and we've trained hard. We're motivated to keep it. You know, it took us a while to get here. I mean, it took us 3 years to get here, and we have a great team behind us. You know, who's helped us along the way. And I mean, you know, he's going to come and bring everything that he's got. He's got drive and motivation, but you know, we got it too. So it's going to be a good fight.
I know talking to you privately, you talk about